Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you all, and it's really good to be here. I'm Raghav.
And I'm Maddie.
Pretty close to calling myself Maddie there for a second. But we are here to talk to you guys about our summer experience in Seward, Nebraska. So Seward County has 10 beautiful communities, starting with Beaver Crossing, Bee, Cordova, Garland, Goner, Milford, Pleasantdale, Seward, Staplehurst, and Utica. Each of these communities have something unique and something different in their own way, and they all come together to make Seward County very special. We're very thankful to Jonathan for taking us on a countywide tour our first week in Seward, and that's when we got to experience Seward for truly what it is.
And then some special things about the community. For example, Bee is Lou and Marianne's bar, and they're known for their fish fries, and it was excellent. We stopped there and ate. And then another place is Goner, and they have Shea Bubba, which is amazing. I stopped there and ate one evening and had the chicken fried steak, and it was awesome. So highly recommend. And each of these places is just unique in their own way, and they're very proud of where they come from. And that's what makes Seward County so great, is because they bring all those special qualities together.
Just a little more facts about the county for you guys. So Seward County was named after William H. Seward, who was Secretary of State under President Abraham Lincoln. William H. Seward, if any of you did know, he actually carefully negotiated the purchase of the state of Alaska for the United States. And if not for William H. Seward, there's a good chance Alaska would still belong to Russia. William H. Seward was also a leading anti-slavery politician, which was at the time a very, very big deal to be doing, because there were, of course, a lot of proponents for slavery and opponents against slavery, and definitely William H. Seward went ahead and propelled that movement in a sense. Seward also has a sister city in Alaska named after William H. Seward. Of course, it's called Seward.
And then there's about 17,000 citizens in Seward County, and then about a little over 7,000 in Seward specifically. And it's increasing for a number of reasons, but one is people like the rural community, people like the small town feel. It's close to Lincoln. They have the interstate access, Highway 34, Highway 6, and the school systems are really great as well. And they're very ag-based community, and they're very philanthropic. Seward is a very giving community just in itself. There's so many different organizations you can join, and they really care about the growth and involvement of their community and how to make Seward better for others.
Vision 2035 of the Seward County Chamber and Development Partnership put together for the Seward County are guided by principles of integrity, respect to everybody, sustainable leadership, giving, and planning for the future. And we're very glad to have played a small role towards contributing to this Vision 2035, and we're very confident that Seward County can totally achieve that vision.
So Jonathan's quote was sticky. How can we make Seward County sticky? And that was basically, how can we get people involved in Seward? How can we get people to move to Seward? What are they looking for? How can we make people stay and grow and have businesses in Seward? And that's kind of what we went off of for our Newcomer engagement project.
So like Maddie said, how to make Seward sticky. Our Newcomer engagement project is more or less a tool to help Seward get stickier. And before laying the foundation for this engagement project, we produced a hypothesis, of course, along with Jonathan, which basically said, that younger professionals and older retirees are mostly disengaged within communities, and that they are the ones who need to be more engaged, because there are many times that families find ways to be engaged, either through their children or through other outside activities that they participate in as families. So our responsibility was to somehow fill this unmet engagement gap that existed between or towards the younger professionals of a community and also the older retirees. And so that's where this stemmed from.
And then so with that, we talked to stakeholders, businesses, civic organizations, you name it. We talked with everyone. We talked with maybe 30 to 40 plus people about what we can do. What do you like about Seward? What do you not like about Seward? What makes Seward great? What could we do better? So we kind of took all their data, all their information, and decided to create an event. So we decided to do quarterly events. So we did an ice cream social in July. It was July 15th, which was National Ice Cream Day, and it was at the Seward Band Shell. So we wanted to create something that was sustainable, that would happen every quarter, that would bring the newcomers together, the citizens together, talk, make friends, make new connections. So that was really great. Seward Kiwanis Club donated spoons, cups, toppings, and then Lee's Refrigeration donated the ice cream machines and ice cream, which was amazing, and it was a really big success.
For this event, we went ahead and recruited 20 active community members to be on our meet and greet group. The meet and greeters were basically informally trained to consciously network with those newcomers and residents of the community. The ice cream social is more or less was a ground for these meet and greeters to get in and engage with the newcomers and residents and kind of get engagement sprouting there. And from this, we went ahead and we circulated an engagement survey to the meet and greeters.
Okay.
And the purpose of this was more or less to gain a little bit of insight into the event and try and see how better we could make this event or duplicate it if we needed another event with other different sponsors. And this kind of also helped us confirm our hypothesis that younger professionals and older retirees needed some sort of like breeding ground to engage. So that helped us out a lot because the survey reflected that these meet and greeters had an opportunity to engage with folks that they've never met before, but also who were in that age range of younger professionals and older retirees. And almost every meet and greeter had engaged in a conversation with someone that they did not know of within the community. And also, all meet and greeters rated that they are highly likely to return to yet another newcomer engagement event. So that was a really good feeling when we got the survey results back.
And lastly, kind of to finish up our time in Seward, we did a website audit of the Seward County website. Just made sure information was correct, names, phone numbers, addresses, just everything was correct, useful, up to date, so when people do visit the website, they have something useful to see. And then we also created a newcomer landing page on the website, so it's called the SewardCountyNewcomers.org. Yes, please, that'd be great. And this has all the useful information that newcomers would need all in one place about all the communities, utilities, trash, you name it, we have it on this website.
So on this website, we give newcomers and residents an opportunity to sign up for the Blue River Buzz, which was already an option that was provided on the Cultivate Seward County website, but this was just another additional place that people could do that. The newsletter is circulated by the Seward County Chamber and pretty much has, gives you important event timings and like community-related information in it. Apart from that, newcomers can also sign up for a free goodie basket with information about the county and also coupons valued over $500. And for this, we worked with a wonderful cooperative lady of the name Jessica Melander, who said that she could contribute the welcome bags for people who sign up on this webpage. Mm-hmm. And the final thing about this page and what is special about it is that let's say a person is trying to move into Seward or any other of those 10 communities, all they have to do is click on that button and they can set up their utilities pretty easily by clicking on the utilities accordion and trying to see who exactly they would like to be contacting for trash services, public power, or internet. And we also, like a person could also maybe choose the church that they want to go to or give them a call and see what they're all about. And so the webpage kind of culminates all 10 communities into one for those who are moving into the county as opposed to just into one community.
All right. And then my growth in Seward, I really grew as a leader in problem solving, my confidence working with people and kind of public speaking with a lot of board of directors and organizations, and then working just with those public organizations. Something I needed to work on was that I always wanted to look for the right answer, and there was no right answer, and there was like millions of solutions we could have had or used, and so Jonathan kind of helped me work through that of, look for different possibilities, see which one works, and if it doesn't, then we try the next one. And then I'm different now because rural communities have such an impact on small towns, especially the public organizations was super important. All the committees and organizations really have an impact, and it makes Seward grow. And then Serviceship is in hospitality. I will be able to use that for everything. I love serving people and putting their needs before mine, and that was just a great way to do that through this program.
So my experience in Seward kind of enabled me to better communicate my thoughts in ways that are new to me, and also made me a better listener and observational learner. I now also have the ability to perceive events and concepts from the shoes of a rural Nebraskan, which is an experience that not very many people do get. And finally, I've also understood that community development in greater Nebraska is by no means an easy task. I've definitely seen Jonathan and his team contribute so much of hard work, determination, grit, and time prioritization towards trying to just set up things and make things happen within the community in terms of economic development and community togetherness. So that was something that was it was a new concept for me to learn, and also realized what it actually took to be in those shoes. So, and with that, we thank Jonathan and of course all of you here for having us in Seward and placing us there. It was a wonderful experience. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, you guys. Anybody have any questions for our presenters?
So what are some next steps around this? And I don't know if you can answer that or Jonathan, but I'm just curious. I love what you put together because I think that's so critically important, and so many of our rural communities are missing those elements. So in the short amount of time, you all did a lot of work together. So what are some next steps? How do you see this moving forward?
So with the Newcomer events, we kind of basically planned out the next year and gave it to organizations and community. So in October, Bottle Rocket Brewing Company is having their big Oktoberfest. So they're gonna have one of their rooms in their upper level as like a newcomer welcome. And then the First Impressions group of Seward is gonna take over, kind of oversee all of our project that we did and take that on. And then other organizations will hopefully join, like Rotary Club will just come and just show up. They don't have to, provide money or do anything like that. Just show up, a few people, shake hands, just meet a new face. Do you have anything to add with that?
Yeah, like she said, yeah, we put together, we formulated a newcomer events guide. So whoever we wanted to take responsibility for the upcoming events that are being sustained over the year. So for example, this ice cream social event will happen on the same day, sponsored by Kiwanis and Lee's Refrigeration next year.
Yeah.
So we provided them with a handbook of sorts, and also, of course, the First Impressions Committee, who we're very thankful to that they've taken over certain responsibilities to try and sustain this.
Yeah.
Gave them a guidebook towards newcomer events and who you need to contact, who you should be talking to in order to get these things together. And of course, there are the entities that are already involved who are going to try and make this a sustained sort of an activity. And like Maddie said, the Bottle Rocket event is something that we're looking forward to, and we hopefully also hope to be there on the 13th of October. So that's something that Bottle Rocket is putting together, joining hands with the First Impressions group. We tried to get other organizations involved too, but also due to the lack of time we had, and those organization members trying to get back to us and having us in their meetings and voting on whether or not they want to assist us was also definitely a little time taking. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So finally, to kind of finish this all up, we put together Seward County magnets, and the magnets have the URL of the domain name that we just showed you. So that was in a way trying to get these magnets to as many new employees as possible. So trying to contact HR departments of large employers and whatnot. Do you want to?
Yeah, and then we talked about, actually Raghav, we had problems with it at first. They came back pretty bad, so they had to redo them, and then we were gone. So Raghav last week had to quick deliver them all in one day. But we spread them out to all the community, like village clerks and town city clerks, so they could give them out either in utilities or if someone, registered for that. And then to schools, like HR, like Tenneco, Seward Public Schools, Hughes Brothers is a big employer, so all those big employers in Seward and in the county is who we gave them out to, and they can spread them as they want or give them to friends and family. They can do whatever with them, what they want, but we have that logo, and it's something that people won't throw away because they have a lot of brochures, but there's a lot of people that said, we just kind of toss it away. If it's a piece of paper, we don't really keep it. So we created like a 4.5 by 3-inch magnet, something that they would see and not just toss in the trash.
Yeah.
So.
And something that also sticks for us to make Seward County sticky. So,
One of the interesting things about your experience with Seward County is the number. You have a number of communities, small communities there. And I'm curious, Seward obviously is a very, very successful community. Is there a spillover? Is there a regional effect with those other communities that draws them up? Or is there a relationship at all?
I feel like a lot of people who work in the surrounding communities commute to Seward for work. And I might be wrong about this too, but I definitely did notice when I was talking to the HR manager of Tenneco, she would tell me about how there were some workers who would drive down from York or drive down from like the smaller communities around like Utica or Milford. Although Utica and Milford are relatively speaking like the larger ones, they still had people driving to Seward in a way to work and commuting for work and whatnot. So in a sense, I could see that spillover effect of Seward's growth contributing to other like folks who live in other communities, but I'm not entirely sure if it positively impacts all other smaller communities, because the more Seward grows, the more people are going to try and leave the smaller communities for communities like Seward or Milford or Utica. So that's kind of what I thought. Anything that you think?
Thank you so much. I hate to cut you off.
that's
I apologize. We have our next presenters, and we want to keep with the schedule. So if you have additional thoughts or ideas you'd like to share, please do so. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.